Now with that first look at Dr. Phil's exclusive interview with the twin yoga teacher acquitted this year of intentionally driving her sister off a cliff. Alexandria Duval is speaking out for the first time. Dr. Phil will join us in a moment after Paula Ferris brings us the background of this high-profile case. Good morning, Paula.
Good morning, George, and good morning, everyone. It has been a mystery what happened in the moments before their car plunged off that cliff. Alexandria Duval now speaking out, telling Dr. Phil she had no idea her twin sister had died until days after that accident. It was the murder trial that gripped the nation. Alexandria Duval, one half of the so-called terrible twins of yoga,
feel the outer rim of your back foot.
Accused of intentionally murdering her twin sister Anastasia by deliberately driving them both off this 200-foot cliff in Hawaii back in 2016. Witnesses said the sisters were screaming and fighting as the car careened towards the cliff's edge. And now, after being found not guilty,
whatever happened, happened. She wasn't responsible.
Duval, who has always maintained her innocence and that the crash was an accident, is breaking her silence.
The whole thing was like a tragic, horrible, awful situation.
Speaking out for the first time to Dr. Phil.
Tell me what happened the day of the crash.
It's really hard for me to put it completely together.
What's happening inside the car?
The whole thing was like a tragic, horrible, awful situation.
Reliving what she says were the final moments right before and after the death of her twin.
Take me through the moment that you realized we're going over the side.
I played it so many times in my mind, having that wheel go out, hitting the dirt berm, going over. I don't.
When you woke up at the bottom of the ravine, what do you recall?
I don't remember. I mean, I just remember being like airlifted.
Did you know she was dead?
Mm-mm.
When did you learn that?
Way after.
When you were in the hospital?
Yeah.
Witnesses testified in court that they saw the twins fighting in the car right before the fatal crash, and that Anastasia, seated in the passenger seat, was viciously yanking Alexandria's hair.
Are you just not wanting to say anything negative about your sister? But you were either being attacked or you weren't.
Did she pull my hair? I can't say that everything.
That is what happened, isn't it?
Now, Alexandria Duval has never spoken publicly about the crash or her sister's death. In fact, at her trial, she didn't even take the stand. So this interview with Dr. Phil, the first time that we hear from her. Michael?
All right, Paula, we're joined by Dr. Phil right now. And Doc, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And Alexandria, she didn't testify at the trial.
She did not.
It's her first time speaking up. So why do you think she's doing it now?
Well, I think this was really beginning to eat at her. She didn't talk at trial. And in fact, she chose a judge, not a jury. So she did not have a jury trial, and this was starting to really unravel on her. It was starting to really eat at her, and I feel like she started to self-medicate. She was taking drugs, she was taking alcohol, and her life was really unraveling. And I feel like she felt like people were judging her, and she finally wanted to tell her story, and she didn't feel like she could tell it at trial. Her attorneys told her, you need to not speak. But she finally, out of jeopardy, said, I want to tell my story.
And you're obviously have studied up on this case. What did you find most disturbing about it?
Well, you know, these, and I say girls because this started at a very young age. They were very combative, very volatile, and sisters are often sometimes that way. But these girls would get into arguments and destroy an entire apartment. And you heard me ask her, were you or were you not fighting in the car? They were on a very treacherous highway, the Hana Highway, which is very narrow and it's winding on a mountain road. And they found a patch of hair torn from her head, and it was in her sister's hair. And witnesses said that they were fighting in the car at the time. And I asked her, were you two fighting in the car? Did you lose control because you were being attacked? And at first she told me no. And this happened over 2 days. And the first day I sent her home, I said, look, you're not ready to talk. And when you are, come back. And she finally said, that was happening. I do recall that happening. And there are big blank spots in her memory, legitimately. But she was clearly under attack by her sister and lost control of that car. And she felt like it was a betrayal on her part if she spoke ill of her sister because she's dead.
And now, but did this interview, did it change your opinion? of the case?
Well, it certainly did, because we had this image of these sisters that were all about health and meditation and all this. But the fact is, they were very edgy in their lives. They are supposedly had left Florida under a cloud, left people hanging. They changed their name. They went into Utah. They left there under a cloud, went into Hawaii. One of them showed up at a homeless shelter demanding things. And when they got to drinking, they became very, very different people. So they had one public image and then a very different sort of persona once they started drinking. And surely that had a big factor here, because they had just left a liquor store where they had picked up quite a bit of alcohol on this camping trip before this happened.
And I know we're going to be able to get a lot more in your interview. And congratulations, by the way. 17 years on the air.
Right.
You signed up for 4 more.
5.
5 more.
Well, who's counting? But counting what we are, we're going to 2023.
2023.
Yeah,
we're all better for it. All right.
Michael, thank you.
Thank you, Doc. And you can see more of the exclusive interview today on Dr. Phil. Check your local listing.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.